Hey guys, I'm Kate and I have decided to make a new channel on YouTube to track my gastric banding journey. I think it's a great way for me to be able to look back and see how far I've come and really keep myself on track and keep myself accountable. So first of all, hi, I'm Kate. I'm 27 years old and living in Perth, Western Australia. I live with my long-term partner, 3 years, long enough, Brad, and our pets. We have 3 cats and a dog, and yeah, we live in Perth. I'm currently a receptionist for an offshore drilling company. I really enjoy my job. I love the people that I work with. They're really awesome. So everything's going really well there. Thanks for asking. I started my gastric banding journey about 18 months ago. That's when I started really toying with the idea of gastric band and is it for me, is it not for me, what are the pros, what are the cons, what is really involved in the procedure, how much does it cost, am I eligible, can I go ahead and do this, those kind of things. So first of all, I had to go to my doctor and say, look, I've got this idea in my head, this is what I'm thinking of doing, and these are the reasons why. My biggest reason for gastric banding was a PCOS, polycystic ovaries. I have polycystic and was diagnosed, I don't know, maybe like 9 years ago now. And it's a pain in the bum. I find it hard to lose weight and I find it hard to maintain the weight that I do lose. I lose weight very, 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 very slowly and it's really hard, and it's through really strict diets, like cut out all your carbs and you can basically eat lettuce and carrots and stuff. So it's not fun. I want to be able to enjoy food and enjoy life, and I really do enjoy food a lot. I will eat almost anything that you put in front of me, and I've stopped listening to my body, I suppose, which is why I've gotten so overweight. I don't listen when I'm full, and I'm trying to relearn all of these basic things that I should have, done ages ago. So when I first went to see my surgeon, after I got my referral from my GP, now I didn't get my referral from my GP the first time I went in there and said, hey, I want to have gastric band surgery, because it wasn't like that. I went in there and said, I'm playing with this idea in my head, pros and cons and things like that. And she gave me some names of surgeons and some research to go ahead and do, which was awesome. But she was also really supportive because she thought it was a good idea for me personally. So after I got my referral and I went to see my surgeon, I was at a weight of about 105 kilos. So he was really tough and asked a lot of questions, like how long have you been overweight and what have you tried in the past? And I said to him, I've been overweight my whole life. And he said, what, even when you were 5? And I was like, oh, I was a bit taken back by that. But you know what? I have always been bigger. I might not have been obese or morbidly obese like I'm considered now, but I've definitely always been overweight as long as I can remember. I can't ever remember being a healthy weight. So after I saw him and he said, yes, I'm happy to go through this with you, he talked about the different options. So really he talked about 2 with me, gastric banding and gastric sleeve. The sleeve wasn't the best idea for me because I like the flexibility of the band. I like the fact that it's adjustable, so if by chance I fall pregnant in the future, which I'm not planning on doing right now, but if in the future we want to have kids, I can have some fill taken out so I can get some more nutrients and increase my calories and things like that. And, if something goes wrong, I can have my band taken out. I can't have the second half of my stomach put back on if I decided to go with sleeve. So I decided on the band. And then I had an appointment with the dietitian at my surgeon's office 4 weeks later. In that 4 weeks, I went food crazy. I ate anything and everything all the time, whatever I wanted. I didn't say no to myself, which I didn't really say no to myself before, but I went overboard. I ate more than what I would have normally, and I was already a chronic overeater. In the 4 weeks that in between my surgeon and my dietitian, I put on 4 kilos. So then I'm sitting at a weight of about 110 kilos, which was awesome. No, I'm like 162 centimeters. I'm little. Like short. I'm wide. In pounds, 243 pounds when I went to see my dietitian, 110 kilos. Big, overweight, morbidly obese on that scale. I had a BMI of about 42. It's not healthy. That's not okay. It hurt my knees to walk. I got puffed going up a small set of stairs. We went to Bali and we went to Waterbomb Park? I think it's Waterbomb Park. Big water park over there. And obviously, to go on the water slides, you have to walk to the top to get to the top of the slide to slide down. And it was really hard and I was so embarrassed. I would walk up like a small flight of stairs of maybe 10 or 15 stairs and I'd have to stop and have a break because I was so exhausted. So it's not even just a matter of being ridiculously overweight. I'm so unfit. So I saw my dietitian and I laid everything out on the table. I was totally honest with her and I told her everything, and there was no point in keeping anything to myself anymore because, you know, I've had enough. I don't want to be overweight anymore. I want to be healthy and I want to live longer. So after that, I made my appointment to get my band, and I had my appointment for surgery, like my surgery booked, I should say, for June 2012. I was really excited. Lots of issues then with my private health insurance. Basically, they wouldn't cover it, and they told me 3 days beforehand, which was pretty cool. I'd already paid my non-refundable fee to my surgeon, so I had to call them up, and I was in tears, so upset. Please, can we put it back? So it got put back till the 11th of October, and then I got a call again saying we have to put it back again. It'll be the 18th of October. So I was like, right. It gets put back, and I was feeling, you know, disheartened, and I was over it. Then I got a call about a week before my surgery and asked me if I could go in on the 15th, which I was so excited about. So I went in on the 15th of October, and today's the 22nd of October. So today I am 7 days post-op. My phone is ringing. Can you believe that? So 7 days post-op, and I've been through a fair bit in the past 7 days. First of all, going into surgery. So my partner took me to the hospital, and, you know, you'd check in. I'm sure it's not check in because it's not like a hotel, but we went to the hospital and, you know, you check in or whatever, and they take you into like a waiting room where there's just TV and stuff. And then a nurse comes along and she took me to a bed where I suppose you wait until they wheel you into surgery, and it looked like an emergency room basically with all those curtains and stuff everywhere. They gave me a beautiful robe and lovely pair of disposable knickers to wear. So I had to get changed into those. I had no jewellery on. I didn't wear any jewellery to the hospital, so it's just easier not to take it with me. And I waited there a few hours before someone came along and said, all right, you're going to surgery now. So they put tags on all my bags to take them up to the room that I was going to, and I went off to surgery. So they wheeled me off to this other little room, which I think is like a recovery room. It was really dim. They dimmed the lights, and it was really quite relaxing. And that's where I met the, and I can never say this word properly, anesthetist, the guy that puts you to sleep. I met him, and he was really nice and put me at ease and said, you know, anything troubling you at the moment? I said I have a massive headache, which I figured was from having no coffee and no food and no drink since, you know, like the day before, because you've got to fast. And he said, don't worry about it, I'll sort that out for you shortly. So I was only in that room for maybe 15 minutes before the nurses from my surgery came in and said hello and wheeled me in. When they wheeled me in to the operating theatre, I was fully awake, and it was quite daunting. I was a little bit frightened, and it was freezing, absolutely freezing. I said, it's really cold in here. They said, yeah, we've got to keep the temperature low. It stops bacteria growing. So I had to transfer myself onto my little operating bed, And they said, make sure you're right in the middle. And then they went about finding a vein for me. My surgeon popped his head over me and said, hello. He said, how are you? I said, I'm good. How are you? And he said, I'm terrible. And I was like, that's awesome. It's just his way, I suppose. He's quite a funny man. Then they went about finding a vein and poked and prodded me. My veins hide, so they got one eventually, and my sleepy man said, 5 or 10 seconds and you'll start to feel really relaxed. And I thought, all right, I'm going to count then, and I'll just, count myself into this relaxation, ignore everything else that's going on around me, ignore the big lights, the TV screens, everything. It's really frightening. So I'm counting backwards and get to about 5 from 10, and that was it. I don't remember anything else. The next thing is waking up in recovery, and I felt like death. It was horrible. Oh, I felt really, really nauseous, really sick. And I wanted to go back to sleep, but my body's trying to get me awake, and I was fighting myself, and I just felt horrid. Really horrid. But I had a really, really lovely nurse in there, and he was like, oh, you're awake, and starting to open my eyes and stuff. And I said, I'm really thirsty. Like really, although I couldn't say it, it was probably more like thirst. So he got these tiny little tubes of water and just squirted a little bit in my mouth. I wasn't allowed to have a lot that, soon out of surgery. So he would squirt, and it was just enough to wet my mouth, which is all I really needed. And they gave me the maximum amount of stuff to give me to stop me feeling sick, because I was really feeling sick. And you shouldn't throw up with a band. You don't want to do that. You can slip. Bad, dangerous, not okay. So I don't know how long I was in there for. I think it was about half an hour. There was a clock in front of me, but I was so in and out, and my eyes, trying to close, and I'm trying to wake myself up, and this guy's rubbing like moisturizer stuff on my lips. My throat was really sore, so I'd obviously had like a tube in my throat. So they wheeled me out of there and into my room, because I stayed overnight at the hospital. And I don't know how long I was in there for before my partner came in. And the poor thing, he's such a trooper. He sat there while I was just in and out, and I just felt horrible. But they'd given me a bit of morphine when I got back up to my room, which was good, because I was in a lot of pain. I didn't have a lot of the shoulder tip pain that people complain about from the gas. I just had pain in my left-hand side and in my incision sites, which is, to be expected. So this video is getting really long now, and it's time to stop. Sorry, I've been talking for like nearly 15 minutes or something like that, 12, 13, something. Anyway, so today I weighed myself as I do every day so that I stay on track, and today I was 99 kilos, which I'm so excited because my first goal was to be under 100 kilos, so yay for me. And that's it for now. I'm 11 kilos down. This is awesome. Life is great. Let's see how we go from here. I'll chuck up a smoothie recipe as well for you guys. Don't know if I mentioned that already. Check it out. You might enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching, and ask any questions that you have. I will try my very hardest to keep the next video much shorter than this one. Thanks, guys.